Hello and welcome to After Hours. We've got a brilliant guest for you this week as I talk to the producer of a new and highly anticipated British independent film, Sola. To tell us more, please welcome Nathaniel Francis. Nathaniel, hello.
Hello, thank you.
Good to see you again, mate.
Nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me down.
Now, before we start, I saw Terry Wogan being interviewed the other day, and he said that when he's interviewing someone, he likes to make sure that they feel like they're in the living room.
Okay.
So, with that in mind,
Yep.
got you some presents.
Oh God. Okay. Right. Okay.
Yep. So, Nathaniel, nice photo frame.
Oh, that's lovely. That is. Yeah, that's really nice. Thanks, man.
That's okay.
How do you know pink as well? I mean,
That did take a lot of...
it's coral, but it's close. It's getting there. Okay.
That's good. That's just tip of the iceberg.
Okay. Awesome.
Scented candle from a friend's there.
Amazing. Chubba Chubs. That's strawberry as well. That's actually my favourite.
Good.
So that's pretty lucky.
Maybe we could light it.
That's gonna take me back. Definitely. It's nostalgic right there.
And, well, you know, not enough meerkats in there.
Okay, awesome. Another thing, this is weird, my housemate is kind of obsessed with meerkats, and he has
brilliant.
quite a few around the house. Hasn't got one that says welcome yet, so that will add to the collection. So far, so very, very good, actually, in all fairness. Yeah, carry on,
I
please.
can quit the interview, we'll just do it, yeah. Chilling out. And finally, on my mix.
Bombay mix. Perfect for snacking and sharing. I couldn't agree more. That's amazing. That's incredible.
There you are, mate.
That's brilliant. Thanks, man.
You're more than welcome. So let's start with Sola. Firstly, what's it about?
Sola is a film about depression and hope. The main theme is hope. I mean, even our tagline is always hope, basically.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something we want people to leave the audience, feel it, leave the cinema or their lounge or whatever. When they finish watching the film, they want to feel that hope afterwards, basically. The film itself follows a middle-aged woman who suffers from depression and anxiety. She lives in London. She has a great job, great husband, a beautiful daughter, and it cuts between that and a post-apocalyptic world where she is the lone survivor. But it's not like your usual post-apocalyptic worlds where it's all dull and grey and kind of just horrible, you know, and like people are kind of fending for themselves or whatever. It's beautiful. Like nature's taken over. Like everything's colourful and vibrant, and there's flowers and green, and you know, but there is obviously the few things that kind of live on. For example, like dogs become the dominant hunter. We researched and dogs would become the dominant hunter in England anyway, at least.
Wow.
And she's got those to kind of battle with, as well as a kind of internal demons and whatnot, which are then projected outwards. Yeah. So there's a lot going on, it kind of nicely kind of cuts back and forward. I mean, the whole point of the film is we're supposed to be giving people a better idea of what depression and anxiety is, and how people that suffer from it, how they kind of cope and what they're like.
You mentioned depression and anxiety. Why have you chosen those themes?
Well, Luke, the writer and director, he suffers himself from bipolar.
Oh, okay.
And he's had bouts of depression and anxiety throughout his life. Yeah. But he battles with it, but he's very strong. He focuses all his kind of his focus and his commitments and all into kind of film. And it's something he loves doing and he's passionate about. Yeah. And because of that, he's overcoming it. Like he wanted to he wanted to make a film where people could understand what it is that sufferers are going through. But also because he understands through filmmaking, he wants to make it so it's easily accessible for everyone, so people that don't suffer it can understand what sufferers would be going through. And also the people that are suffering can leave feeling hopeful, that there is always hope, like, you know, tomorrow is a new day, you know, you can keep on going. So and that's kind of the main driving force behind the film, basically.
So does Eden reflect Luke then, or is it a little bit more complicated than that?
It's a bit more complicated than that, yeah. It's not like he's written a character about himself at all. It's been something he can write about confidently, something he can direct confidently, because he's gone through, you know, everything that she would be going through. So in that respect, yes. But I mean, from the actual, I mean, obviously he's not a middle-aged woman, so he wouldn't be able to kind of, you know, associate himself with that. And he doesn't have a husband and a daughter, so, you know, it's like poetic license. But the main like themes and everything's going to be as factual as possible, but filmic. A lot more recently, people have kind of really, what's the word? They associate like completely with films and TV, and whereas before it's been more like an escape, now it's becoming a lot more educational. People are putting a lot more heavy and darker themes that people are tackling maybe in real life, or just something to think about, you know, within their films. And people are understanding it better through film than they would if they just picked up and read a little manual or leaflet about it. So it's kind of trying to mix both worlds together in the way that the industry is kind of going at the moment.
So how did the project come about? Did Luke say to you, Nathaniel, we have to make this film, or was it more of a collaborative effort?
No, he. I mean, I met him about a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago, and on a project called, maybe less than that actually. It seems like ages now, but it was about a year, maybe a year and a half ago actually, in all fairness. And I met him on a project called Fallen Angels, which he'd cast me for. And we got on really well. I really liked the way he filmed, the way his mindset was about filming in general. It was very different from a lot of directors that I work with. And we got on like a house on fire. And he'd finished, when he finished the film, he went, I want to do this next project. And I just started writing Sola, which then was called Sola. So yeah, it's changed a lot, you know. So then I was like, like when it's finished, like chuck it over. Like I'd love to have a look. And he did, and I was like, I've got to go on this. This is amazing. Like I really want to be a part of this, and that's kind of where it's gone from, really. And we just kind of picked up steam and brought other people in, and we're collaborating and moving forward. Yeah,
I mean, speaking from experience, I know like how great it is to work with people who are that passionate, but not like a pretend passion, something which is genuine.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, you want to find people that you want to work with as well. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Luke and I are going to work on every single project now for the rest of our lives. But but we, at this moment in time, we're really passionate about this project, and I think it works with any project. If you've got people that are passionate about the project and not just there just to, add to their CV or just because they want to get paid or whatever, then the whole project's going to look better. I mean, if it's something you really want to do, people will see that when they watch the film. They'll go, oh, this, I can feel that this person put a lot of love and care and attention into this film, and they will enjoy it as well, even if it's not possibly something they'd go and see themselves,
Yeah, definitely. So, with Sola, you mentioned that there's the leading lady, Eden. Why do you think there appears to be less faith in films with leading ladies?
It's a loaded question, really.
Yeah, only the best questions on this show, mate.
There's a lot of different angles with this one, I think. I think with the writers themselves, I suppose it really stems from the writing itself, really. But then again, I'll start here and say that the writers themselves, they're not writing male leads. But then again, you could then go, well, the audience are not requesting, female leads, and the audience are not requesting female leads. But it's in the industry's power to glamorize anything they want to, really. They've got their power to. If they wanted to go, okay, we now, for some reason, don't like heterosexual people, and we're going to go, we're just going to flood the industry with with people that are, gay, metrosexual, bisexual, anything like that, then people would start watching that because they have the power to kind of change and move whatever. It's like fashion, it's not us that go, oh, actually I feel like, it's the fashion people that go, actually I fancy a change. Brown, I like brown. It's the season for brown, so yeah, there you go, have a bit of brown, and everyone's like, oh, brown's amazing, I love it, and I think it's the same kind of thing with the industry. But whereas before it's always started as like a very male dominated kind of, even within the crew there's a lot of male male directors, male DOPs, everything, male producers. So the tendency for that to kind of dominate the aspect and push females out a bit more in that respect. It is getting better. Definitely. We've seen, like Jennifer Lawrence's kind of one woman army is like really kind of pulled forward and revolutionized it, and now we're seeing, but there are big, you've got like, look at the Avengers, which was one of the top grossing films last year. Like Scarlett Johansson was a big character within that as well. Yeah. And she was one of the main characters. I know obviously it's a comic book, so they have to have her in there, but yeah, and she's proven that she can hold her own, and she's gone on to a new film that's come out, Under the Skin, which is like her leading throughout, and that's incredible. Like it is starting to pick up steam and
Gravity
get better.
With
Gravity, of course, yeah, with Sandra Bullock, where she was just her basically for 3/4 of the film, which and it was an incredible film. For all reasons, as well as the fact that she gave like an Oscar-winning performance, but she didn't win an Oscar, I don't think. But but yeah. So it's getting better, but I think we've still got a long way to go.
So you funded this film via the pre-production of the film. You funded it via online donations.
Yeah.
I know you had an excellent Kickstarter page where people could donate and help fund the film. How did you find the task of crowdfunding? Was it enjoyable, stressful?
I hate crowdfunding. No, no. I think everyone that's done it will then say they hate it. It's brilliant. It's an amazing tool, because obviously it gives you so much control as a creative. It doesn't matter if you're doing a film or a gadget or anything, a cookbook or whatever. It means that you have complete control over your project, and that's the reason people go towards it. Yeah. And obviously it's done fantastically well. Kickstarter, the crowdfunding platform that we used, hit their 1 billion pledge halfway through our Kickstarter campaign. So, since they've been running, which is crazy, So it's obviously a great platform that people can trust and use, and it's nice. It's like this kind of it's that collaborative process, but just involving everyone.
Definitely.
They feel that they are definitely very much so a part of the project then, because they're getting the updates and or they get like a little souvenir from it, or they get the first to see the project or touch the project, depending on what it is. And then by all means, then they have the actual creators' gratitude forever, because they help them get the project where it is now.
Am I right in thinking that one of your prizes was the rough copy of the script?
No, that was we did a competition where it was the first 10 pages, and just as one of the things to kind of drive more attention to the Kickstarter page, just you have to be so creative within the actual month of funding as well. But yeah, one of the pledges was if you pledged £10 maybe or £15, you'd get a hard copy of the script. Or no, £8. I think it was £8. Yeah, £8 for the hard copy of the script.
Yeah, it's
or a digital copy of the script anyway. And so you get to read it from the off basically. And
yeah. So what joys and pitfalls have you come across producing an independent film?
Joys and pitfalls. I think joys. It's been a massive learning curve for me. I've done a lot of different bits throughout kind of production. Like I've done a bit of DOPing, I've done a bit of gaffing, I've done a bit of sound. Not so much the script editing side of things. But I've tried to do as much as possible being a runner, you know, and done all kinds of different levels of production, just so that as a producer I've got a better understanding of what you can and can't do, and what you can and can't ask for someone. So that's really good. It's really it's helped me in that point. So I found that really interesting, and that was a joy for me. Like I really love that. I love knowing that what everyone can and can't do, and how really complicated some of these, you know, each person's job is. Like a cameraman, you just go, oh yeah, no, it's just point and shoot. Oh no, it's way more than that, you know. The lighting, you go, oh, just make it look like lit, but you're like, well, no, it has to be well lit, but there could be a certain mood lighting you want, you know, and it would help a lot. If it was done now, then the editor would have less of a job to do then, so he can focus on other bits and stuff. So it's very much intertwined, and it's, you know, and that's been awesome to kind of learn that. Producing side of things as well, you've got a lot of control, but then you don't have a lot of control, depending. If you want a project made, you're not unless you're bringing the money to the table as well, you don't have like full control. You have to kind of give and take, and there are like rules that you have to stick to that will get you the investment that you need for a film. And then there are other rules that you can kind of negotiate, and so you can get as much creative kind of flow for your film as possible. I mean, I know there's a lot of grants and stuff out there as well. They're difficult to get as well. There is only a certain amount of grants and a certain amount of money, and there's thousands of filmmakers wanting to get this money. So it's a tough and rocky road. I mean, we were like eternally lucky to have two people that are, this is their second project. Their first project got to the DVD level and has been sold in like Tesco, Asda, and all that kind of stores, and H&B and stuff. So they know the set parameters to get a film produced, so they can get it out there, basically. So we're kind of being the creative element and kind of, you know, juggling between them, you know, like, oh, we need to lose this, we can't lose that certain aspect and stuff. So there's a lot of juggling and a lot of like, you know, battling in a way as well. But that can be a major pitfall, definitely, because it gets to a fine line where you'll get to a point where maybe there is something you would have to give that you didn't really want to give, but it would have to be just so you could get that kind of more commercial appeal to it, which would bring in a wider kind of band of audiences. But yeah, again, it's just tough. I mean, you don't want to make a film where it's so commercial that you lose your kind of integrity and feel and everything that you've been working towards, you know, and the pointers and everything and the themes that you've got. But then you don't want to make it so kind of indie and away from anyone that can just off the street and just watch it and kind of understand what's going on, because then you won't get it funded, and two, no one will see it, and it's just like, well, you know, you've done a great film there, but no one's going to see it. So it's a balance, definitely.
What are your plans as a company for the future? Will we be seeing more gritty films?
You will. There is we've got quite a few different projects. I think we've got about four or five projects in the pipeline and they're very much, it's going to be like, well, we're hoping to get to a stage where it's a film a year. You know, we're pushing out a film a year. I don't want to kind of spoil it or show any spoilers or anything at all, but we've got some great projects lined up, and they're very different. They are very, very different. But they're all kind of like, the first few that we're doing a lot of kind of similar, kind of drama thriller, or thriller more, or drama, you know. So yeah, that's the theme we're going to. But there are some speed bumps and some surprises coming up. So yeah.
Fantastic. Nathaniel, thank you so much, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. Make sure you check out Sola. There's a lot of information online, and it's going to be a great film.